Hi, everyone. Welcome to another interview from our interview series with successful business analysis practitioners. My name is Nitin, and I will be the host of this interview. Today, we will be interacting with Hrishikesh, who is a CBAP certified business analyst. And as we all know, CBAP is one of the toughest certification in business analysis. So let's listen to this hard work, full full of journey with his own words of becoming CBAP certified. Hi, Rishikesh. How are you?
Hello, Nitin. I'm good. Thank you for asking.
So, Rishikesh, before we jump on, how was your experience? How did you prepare for it? Let's understand your background first. Let's understand
Yeah,
your professional background.
yeah, sure. Let me give a quick introduction about me, and then we can relate to the CBAP eventually. So, I'm based in Bangalore, working for energy MNC. So
Hmm.
my corporate experience is around 7 years, but in 2020 I decided to move to the business analyst role in the same organization. So been working there. Yeah, since 2020, I've been trying to upskill in business analyst role, getting experience, and also trying to deliver for my organization. Just to
Hmm.
get a bit more deep dive, what I do is I play the role of the business analyst. I have been playing the role for multiple projects, but across my main industries in the energy industry, but also
Okay.
mostly in the digital solutions targeting the
Uh-huh.
global commercial audience. Yeah,
Awesome. And Rishikesh, why CBAP? I mean,
right.
it's not an easy certification. Everybody knows that. It takes a lot
Yeah,
of effort. It takes a lot of hard work, and a lot of sacrifice as well. The book itself is 500 plus
yes.
pages book, which becomes quite
Yeah,
overwhelming. So why
yeah,
CBAP? Why that? This is the certification which I want to go for to
yeah,
upskill
sure.
myself.
So before I step into the answer, right, let me give backtrack and take a step back. So during my career as a working professional, so I was not directly working as a business analyst. So during my initial years in the working as a working professional, I discovered my potential and then got to know about the SPA role, which is still not unknown, like not known for me 100%. So I explored it and I took the step of taking the BA role in the organization, which also is very helpful, where you can switch the roles here. But then I was really curious about this BA role, right? Because I discovered that yes, I can be something like uh, agent of change and get the become the bridge between the our audience or the product owners or the business owners with the development team, something sort of that to start with. So I was really interested and I wanted to deliver uh, very quickly and also efficiently in this role. So there was this big curiosity to learn about the BA role. And before taking CBAP, I also appeared for the ECBA and the CCBA
Okay.
from IIBA. So so yeah, I took the first certification ECBA and then I realized, yeah, that really helps me to deliver and understand the role much better. And I was able to pick up, okay, what I do to my day-to-day task in my organization. I was able to relate with the what the babok content and the resource material had.
Hmm.
Then I decided to go for CCBA, which actually was helping me a lot. Then I thought, yes, just to um, upskill and get to the peak of the certification, but also deliver efficiently. I thought, let's CWAP is the one which should really help me to deliver more efficiently, and the content of the babok is what I have experienced before appearing in the CWAP. I had these experiences in practical examples in my real day-to-day life, and I was able to relate it. So why CBAP? If just to summarize in very three simple points, right? Of course, I wanted to understand the BA role better. Second, CBAP provides you this learning material and the resources to deliver more efficiently and understand the BA role and deliver it quickly. Like I was able to pick up the BA role and deliver it very efficiently and more quickly compared to the other my fellow team members. And the third point would be, of course, CBAP. Lets you this the whole wild of connecting with the
Hmm.
fellow business analysis outside your organization. So that's why I went for the CBAP certification.
Awesome. I mean, really well summarized, Rishikesh.
Yeah,
And I remember you mentioned that agent of change. So so there is a misconception in the society that BA just captures the requirements, and it's not that. We do act as agents of change. We are the catalysts of change. So very well said. Let's now talk about the preparation. It must have
yeah.
been taken, quite some time to prepare for this certificate. Uh, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, when I first had a look at the Babok content, it was like it was huge content. So, of course, as a working professional, you have to manage time. And then first glance at the book of the content, it's really overwhelming, I would say, right? So, how I started. The only plus point which I had before appearing for the CBAP, which might be different for other candidates appearing for CBAP, is that I already appeared for ECBA and CCBA. So I had some of the knowledge was a bit versed with what Babok content is. What are the knowledge areas? What are the tools and techniques? What are the competencies which you need? So, of course, after a big gap, I think that there was a big gap between when I appeared for my CCBA and for CBAP. So I had to start from the scratch again because with the as a working professional, you have to balance your working life, your personal life, and also your upskilling as a certification as well. So how I started, I went into my into the theoretical Babok book, which is provided by the IIB. That's a standard Babok version 3. I had to go through it multiple times because yes, it helps me to understand the theoretical knowledge, what is expected at which stage of your business analyst responsibilities or your journey uh, during particular delivery project. But I had to go through multiple times. So if you ask me summarize, I had to go through the Babok like 3 times just to understand. Okay, I fully understand. I'm able to relate. Still because of the huge content and all this 50 tools and techniques which you have, right, it's difficult to capture everything in even after 3 terms at the point. So what I was trying to do, first thing which I put, like, the mindset which I had was practice deliberately, because I have to put everyday concentration, like focus. So even if it's like 30 minutes or even 2 hours or even for 10 minutes, I was able to stay consistent as well, which is very important because it's easy to miss out the momentum as well with your working professional and your personal life. Uh, so I went through it. Um, so theoretical knowledge was okay, yes, quite fine. You might feel a bit confident, but when you appear for some of the question banks, then I found that where my gaps were, and
Okay.
that is where Techcanvass really helped me, to be honest. So because I went through the theoretical knowledge, the Babok content, and said, okay, I am well versed. I understand all the content. Maybe it's time for me to test how I appear for the question bank. When I
Mm,
tried, it was very helpful because you expect all of it, but you don't in the first try or even in the initial times, and then the question banks helps you to identify the gaps where you are lacking. So I went through the question bank. So first I was going through the backlog multiple times, taking the question banks, and the question bank is very helpful. Is like it doesn't say okay, this is correct and this is not correct and this is what your score is. It also explains why this is the correct answer, why this is the incorrect answer, and why, and which one of them might be very close but not correct as well, because the question bank
right.
of CBAP is like two options might appear very correct, very similar, and that's where where your certification tests your knowledge as well. So once you identify the gaps, I had to go through Babok again. Mostly try to tools look at the tools and the techniques and also the knowledge
Mm,
areas. But what mindset I kept through is like after going to the question bank, it's not like a straightforward theoretical MCQ. You really have to understand the practical knowledge. You really have to put yourself in the shoes of the question and then evaluate, take your good time, understand the question, evaluate what is asked, at what stage or what knowledge area you might be in, and then answer the question. So that helped me. Last step was going through the, after I went through my caps, I went through the Babok again, and until and unless I was satisfied and confident from my question bank outcome as well, I really kept on going as well. So that was like in brief the approach I took for the certification.
Awesome. And how long did you take in completing this entire preparation?
Ah, well, if you consider, it took 8 months for me to go through
Yeah.
the whole steps. But just to consider, there was also it also depends. The factors which were impacting was the working delivery. As a working professional, you have to balance with your
Mm.
day-to-day professional life as well, your personal life, a bit of your own time as well. So
Yeah.
overall, if you ask me from the scratch, from first time reading the Babok book, preparing for the CWEP exam, till I was confident, like the day before I appeared for the CA exam, it took me 8 months to go through the whole approach.
Okay. Okay. And I know you did speak about few of the challenges, which is time management, which has always been a challenge when you prepare for such uh, crucial certifications. Any other challenge which you want to talk about?
Yes, the biggest challenge for me personally was once you go through the Babok content, you really feel confident for the first time that you can really crack this. Yeah, because if you look at, for example, you can have a look at, okay, this is very straightforward. This is what I do in my day-to-day professional life as a business analyst, and it's very easy to crack as well. But when you go to the question bank, actually, right, that's where the main challenge comes in. I thought that I was very confident and satisfied after going through the theoretical knowledge,
Mm.
for sure. But when I went to the question banks, um, per knowledge area, I went through it, and there's also dedicated 3 hours, dedicated the full length examination question bank as well. I found, I was not performing very well in the first instance. So that really opened my mind, and I was putting in more focus. So the challenge was that initially you think you are confident and you are going through the Babok content, and you can crack the CBAP, but it's not, because the type of questions which appears in the CBAP examination, and the questions which the thought process which the question puts you, that Babok
Mm.
solely cannot explain. It's only can go through the question banks actually. So
Yeah.
uh, I really had to put up that thought, like, okay, I know the content now, and then of course I have to take each question properly, and good amount of time. The amount of time which is given as CWEB exam is sufficient if you are able to practice the question bank and deliver it. So um, you really have to put on full concentration. And if you ask me, knowledge areas, short questions like 10 or 15, it's easy to do it. But when it comes to preparing for the 3 hours length examination, it becomes challenging. Your mind is
Yeah.
very fresh during the first hour, or first 1.5 hours, or maybe 2 hours. But at the end, you might reach a saturation point. So you also have to train your mind using the question bank, that okay, you have to put full focus, because yeah, you might give all the answers correctly during the first initial stages or first 1.5 hours, but then you feel confident, and then the CBAP examination is so tricky that sometimes the two options appear correct, and they are very close, and it's easy to miss out on the correct one as well. So I would say a combination of the challenges like time management also, and a concentration which you have to put, like understand the question fully. It is very easy to go and pick up the wrong answer, even though you are fully versed with the Babok and even with the question bank as well. So
Mhm.
how I really overcame is that, the question bank really trains your mind as well to put through the thought process. Okay, you read this question, understand, put yourself a particular, in the shoes of that question, the BA, of in the question as well, on what situation you are in, and take your time to answer as well. So that was really helpful for me to uh, overcome the challenge as
Yes.
well. Yeah,
I was about to ask the last question, Rishikesh,
yeah,
and it would have been something like, can you give few tips to the aspirants who are looking forward for this certification? But you have already shared so much information, uh,
yeah.
along with your experience of writing this exam and what to prepare and what not to prepare, what to do, what not to do. So, I mean, I'm quite motivated. And yeah, I feel the same for the others as well who will be watching this interview. All the best for your future. And yeah, how's life after CBAP? I mean, I didn't ask that, so let me close the interview with that.
Well, the point is, my organization really believes in upskilling. So we have a team of business analysts, huge numbers,
Okay.
and they really believe in upskilling the certifications as well. And CBAP is one of the top certification, which also they encourage us to take it up. So when I passed the CBAP examination, yes, of course, after putting effort for 8 months, thin and thick, you feel very proud. And I was really happy to share with my organization and my managers as well. So that really helped. Of course, a pat on the shoulder from the organization and your team leads really helps for the first time. But it really helped me, if you ask me, right? The more you get this kind of certifications on the business analyst, and then you're given a big responsibilities as well, right? So you have to deliver more, so you can jump into the lead business analyst role as well. So you're giving this you get this opportunity to work on high profile projects as well, and also where the visibility is very high. So I got this opportunity, and it really helped me to apply the knowledge which I gained through CBAP in my day-to-day activities as well. So that's good because the way I do things now would have been different if I had not appeared for the CWeb examination. So I'm able to pick up the tools and techniques to approach more quickly, more efficiently, and deliver it quickly. So yes, of course, there are challenges in all the projects, in new projects as well, but you can handle it. So it also trains your mindset to be a bit patient and also concentrate fully what is asked here as a PA. And second, of course,
Yeah.
in the market you get this visibility as well. It's also people ask for you. So I'm really before examining for appearing for the CBAP exam, I was reaching out to the CBAP certified candidates. Okay, can you help me out with this? What the approach you take? And taking all the input from them, I created my own approach. And now there are also fellow BAs who come to me, to ask for the tips and tricks to appear for the CWeb exam, how to do it. So it's really helpful for me to not to guide them, but also learn from them. How what approach they are taking, and also helps in networking as well, not only inside the organization but also outside in the market. So yeah, pretty good, I would say.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing this wonderful journey with us, Rishikesh. It was great interacting with you, and thank you for giving us this time. And all the best for your future. Thanks again.
Thank you, Nitin. Thank you all.